please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let us pray. Almighty and ever-living God, today we celebrate the accomplishments of the students of the class of 2019. Our hearts are filled with joy for them, and we give you thanks for all the gifts that they have shared. We give you thanks for the knowledge and wisdom that they have gained, for the friendships forged through work and play. May they see this celebration not only as the culmination of all their work here, but the foundation of a new beginning, something even greater. And so, O gracious Lord, we bring together all the moments of creativity, insight, and joy, and all the challenges too, the occasions for disappointment, the limits of our capacity, tasks only partly completed, and even those things that they might regret. We gather them together and ask that you honor them all. We also pray your blessing on what is yet to come. In a weary and uncertain world, their work will mean so much to so many. Continue to grant them imagination and insight for the years of learning ahead. Grant them patience, strength, and wisdom in all their endeavors, and may their minds, hearts, and hands always be open in faithful expectation. And now, may what your saints do this day and all they hope to accomplish in the future bring you honor and glory now and forever. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great privilege to welcome each of you to the 51st commencement exercises of the Trinity Preparatory School. I'm deeply grateful to those members of the faculty and staff who have worked so hard to plan and organize the ceremony, especially Nicole Baker, Lou Garcia, Jean Olin, and Janine Papan. And of course, I thank each of you for joining us in the celebration of the 135 members of the senior class. The H. Benton Ellis Award was established in 1987 to honor the memory of H. Benton Ellis, our second headmaster and a much admired and respected member of the science department. This award recognizes excellence in teaching. The winner is selected by a committee of former award recipients. Of the winner, her nominator wrote, "This teacher touches the lives of every student within her orbit, and that orbit is considerable. She reaches people across the entire student body from middle school through 12th grade, and she cares deeply for all of them. She believes in what they can do." Another nominator commented, "This teacher is a role model, showing students respect, integrity, and joy. She loves what she does, and the students respond in kind. They love building sets, creating intelligence tests, traveling to new countries, and performing on stage." This year's Ellis Award for Teaching Excellence goes to Donna Walker. At this time, I would also like to recognize a few members of the faculty who are retiring at the end of the school year. After 28 years of dedicated service to Trinity Prep, Mary Helen Luce is retiring from the math department. One student noted of her skills, "She has an insanely strong grasp of all things calculus." She has cared for nearly 2 generations of Trinity graduates and has shared a wealth of knowledge with us all. We will miss her talents and leadership. Please join me in thanking Mary Helen for her years of service. After 25 years of service, Margaret Griffith is retiring from Trinity Prep. Margaret has gracefully supported learning here by engendering a culture of reading. Her impact on the student body has been so strong that they dedicated the yearbook in her honor. We will all miss her. Please join me in thanking Margaret Griffith for her years of service to our community. And after 18 years of dedicated service to Trinity Prep, Lynn Burmeister will be retiring from the math department as well. She has been wonderfully supportive of our Quiz Bowl program, and a student wrote of her success, "She is willing to answer questions no matter how easy or obvious they may seem to her." We will miss her calm and friendly nature. Please join me in thanking Lynn for her years of service to Trinity Prep. The Salutatorian. Representing the class of 2019 is a scholar who's earned the distinction of Salutatorian by having the second highest unweighted grade point average in the class over a 4-year. Jackie Wong is a National Merit semifinalist, a member of Cum Laude, and the National Latin Honor Society. She was named to the Florida Athletic Coaches Association All-State, All-Academic team, and she captained this year's Trinity Prep varsity soccer team. In her spare time, she volunteered at the emergency department at the Winter Park Memorial Hospital. Please help me welcome our salutatorian, Jackie Wong.
Good morning, class of 2019, parents, faculty, and friends. If there's one thing I've learned, life is full of surprises. For example, a couple months ago, I was at school pretty late, so I had to use the staff bathroom. While I was doing my thing, I heard the doorknob jiggle. As I exited the bathroom, I opened the door, and surprise, it's Mr. Heron, who goes like, "Ah!" Or take poor 6th grade Alan, who was completely surprised when he was left sleeping on the bus on a field trip. Or my parents, who were definitely surprised when they found out they were having me. Hi, Mom and Dad. Surprises happen all the time, but it's the difficult ones that define who we are and shape our character. One of the hardest surprises in my life was finding out second semester of my freshman year that I was moving to Florida after living in Wisconsin for only 2 years. I was in complete disbelief. It was hard to imagine Florida as my new home, with its lack of seasons and proximity to Disney World. But in the end, I learned to adjust. I had no idea how supportive the Trinity family would be, or just how many donuts I would consume over the course of the next 3 years. I am thankful my parents chose a school that has given me so many opportunities and so much good content that I can make a meme page. For the hardest surprises, like moving across the country, you might feel totally lost, but you will always have your family and friends to support you. So thank you, Mom and Dad, for being there when I need you the most. Jeffrey, for being my #1 fan and letting me play my music on our drives to school. Mr. Worcester, for putting up with me for 3 years and 4 math courses, helping me gain confidence in myself, and teaching me to put a dash at the end of every problem. Dr. Mortimer, for giving solid advice in life and in the subject where I needed it most. Mr. Brown, for shaving your beard to give us a boost on the APUSH exam. Kevin Johnson, CEO of Starbucks, thanks for all the coffee. And finally, to my classmates, thank you for the support and the memories. I am so honored to speak on behalf of the class of 2019. As the largest graduating class yet, we've done big things. We've broken school records, put on Broadway-level productions, killed it in the classroom while knowing how to have a good time, and we've won the rope pull not once, but twice. We will have many surprises in the future, both good and bad. So we need to stop fearing and take each new challenge head on. Start living and embrace the present. Let life surprise us in college and beyond, and most importantly, never use staff bathrooms. Thank you.
Alan, thank you for that wonderful performance. Also representing the class of 2019 are scholars who have earned the distinction of co-valedictorian by having the highest unweighted grade point averages in their class over 4 years. Akua Dede Apa Sampong is a National Merit Finalist, a member of Cum Laude, and the Spanish and National Honor Societies. She was named to the All-State Women's Choir as a junior and is a member of the varsity weightlifting team. She won the Bertie Green Travel Award granted to 24 juniors nationwide in support of global travel to the Spanish-speaking world, and she was president of the Key Club. Please help me welcome our co-valedictorian, Akua Dede Apa Sampong.
Good morning, everyone. I'm so honored to speak on behalf of the class of 2019 alongside my friends Jackie, Ryan, Matt, Olivia, and Andrew. Whether you came to Trinity in 6th grade or joined later on, we've all worked diligently to get here today. We've won, we've lost, we've been left on buses, and with every night spent studying and every early morning scramble to finish an assignment, we have earned these caps and gowns. And because I know some of you are silently laughing to yourselves thinking, I've had senioritis since freshman year. Yes, you too have earned it. We are a determined, hardworking, steadfast class made up of athletes, musicians, photographers, travelers, vloggers, car enthusiasts, influencers, you name it. But what threads us all together is that we are Trinity Prep students, soon to be alumni. We're fortunate to have gone to a school that provided us with challenges. Trinity has taught us how to work, how to buckle down and reach for what we want, so that in the future, we'll be ready for whatever is thrown our way. Of course, we still have much to learn, but we're definitely better equipped to overcome obstacles in and out of the classroom now than we were before. As a class, we've accomplished some pretty great feats. We've shined on the stage, we've left it all on the field, we've prioritized giving back to our communities, and that's all on top of our academic achievements. But everyone always remembers the end result, the final score, the king and queen, the money raised. I hope to remember the journey and the little things that happened along the way, so that down the road, when someone asks me about high school, I'm not just reading off a resume. For example, I'll always remember our epic Powder Puff comeback win, best birthday ever. But I also want to remember how much fun the practices were when we were running around the field, annoying Wheeler Wilson, and we were attempting, emphasis on attempting, to learn the plays. I hope to remember those moments cheering each other on at games and concerts, and even listening to Robbie Whitten passionately and constantly talk about Key Club. I hope to remember how surprised I was, even though I knew it was coming, every time Joe Paoli tore it up on the dance floor or Brett Lamorello went off during Soulja Boy at every school dance. No plaque or trophy will define our high school experience. No failed AP bio test or catastrophic physics project will either. We certainly won't remember every little detail of our Trinity journey, but it's important to know that there was more to high school than just the grades and the titles, but people and moments that impacted us along the way. High school was sweet. Sweet, 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 sweet tea, Susie Asado. It was Rev, showing us how to lead with our hearts and make the world that much better through our actions. It was listening to every speaker tell us how they turned their passion into a career, even when their passion seemed outrageous, impossible, or was simply Rick Springfield. So, as we move on, let's promise ourselves to never take anything or anyone for granted, to enjoy the process, and to not let the next 4 years of our lives pass us by in a flash, to study hard and be the go-getters we are, but at the same time, to ensure that when we look back on our college experience, we'll have a story to tell that's worthwhile, just like high school. We have many thanks to give, to our teachers, to our families, to this school. We would not be on this stage if it weren't for the people sitting in this auditorium. They say it takes a village to raise a child, and if you look around, this is ours. And finally, we have thanks to give to each other. With each other's support and shared study guides, we did that. Congratulations, class of 2019.
Matthew Ryan Castro is a National Merit Finalist, member of Cum Laude and National Junior Classical League Honor Society, and he is an Eagle Scout. He captained the Quiz Bowl team and served as an acolyte at Cathedral Church of St. Luke. Please help me welcome our co-valedictorian, Matthew Ryan Castro.
Good morning, class of 2019, and welcome, family and friends. Some of you may remember that for the late start day last year, the student council bought so many cookies to hand out that they literally couldn't give them away fast enough. There were so many leftover treats that the members of student council were handing out entire boxes during their classes for the whole rest of the day, and there were still more left at the end. However, despite the ridiculous amount of cookies that we all received for free, one of my friends was convinced that he had received even more free gifts that day. You see, before school started, a group of us met at Bagel King to get breakfast, and one of my friends ordered 2 bagels. However, upon receiving his order, he was stunned to find 4 bagel slices on his plate, oblivious to the fact that a bagel is made up of 2 halves when it's sliced. My friends and I teased him for his mistake, but on a deeper level, perhaps he had a point. Not that we're all double counting our bagels, because that makes no sense at all, but that each of us has been blessed with incredible gifts that we often overlook. Trinity has supplied us with an amazing education and prepared us to face challenges in college and in life with knowledge and confidence. Our friends have stood beside us and been there for us through good times and bad, and together we have done amazing things. Our parents, teachers, and administrators have worked tirelessly to support us and help us reach our goals. None of us could be where we are right now without the help and guidance from all of those in our lives closest to us. I have the privilege of being able to come up on stage and thank my parents for their continuous dedication to my life and incredible guidance, and my teachers for the lessons they have taught me regarding both academics and life. I would go way over my time limit, and Miss All would probably throw me off stage if I were to shout out all the incredible teachers who have changed my life, but I have to thank a few individually. Thanks to Miss All and Mr. Worcester for always being willing to brighten my day with a well-timed joke. Thanks to Dr. Mortimer for dealing with the countless hours I spent pestering you in study period to help me understand that last link I was missing. Thanks to Dr. Clanton for being my personal cheerleader through the afternoon classes last year and answering all of my completely off-topic questions after class. And thanks to Mr. Rhodes for helping me to learn to love classic literature and to enjoy English classes, even though they aren't my strong suit. I also know that our class as a whole wants to give a huge thank you to Mr. Brown and Miss Burmeister as they leave our school. They made such a huge impact on us, and we wish you both the best in your future endeavors. Some of us have been at Trinity since 6th grade, while others joined our family far more recently. But that's exactly what this class is, a family. We have so many shared experiences that shape us as a class, and I may be a little biased, but we're a darn good one. We have incredible artists and performers, superhuman athletes, and brilliant students. We were the first grade in a very long time to win both the rope pull and Headmaster's Day for 2 years in a row. And we only left one person on a bus our entire time here, as far as I know. We have a pretty good resume, if you ask me. Between the triumphant memories and the funny ones, our class has been a very special one. And the class of 2019 will go on to be remembered forevermore and evermore and evermore. Thank you.
Olivia Joy Dimitriadis is a United States Presidential Scholar semifinalist, a National Merit Finalist, and a member of the Spanish Honor Society. She served as student body treasurer and layout editor for the Trinity Voice. She was a member of the varsity cross-country team and supported Habitat for Humanity. Please help me welcome our co-valedictorian, Olivia Joy Dimitriadis.
When I was first tasked with writing the speech for graduation, I was maybe a little too desperate for suggestions. I consulted with my family, with friends, with Trinity grads in a last-ditch effort to craft the perfect speech. My dad told me that I should quote Lord of the Rings and base the rest of my speech off of a Tosh.0 clip. My mom thought I should use my 3 minutes to lecture the audience about something that is of dire importance: climate change. A recent alum suggested that I go through in gory detail every Trinity Prep scandal over the past 10 years. Matthew Castro had the ingenious idea of having us all deliver the Gettysburg Address in unison. As much as I would love to go all Bill Nye on you and talk about how we're setting our planet on fire, I don't want things to get too heated. And for all you Civil War reenactors in the audience who are dying to hear my Abe Lincoln impersonation, we can talk later. If I've learned anything from Trinity and from my fellow classmates, it's that sometimes you gotta march to the beat of your own drum, pardon the cliche. That could mean rocking your own quirky sense of style, as long as your shorts have a 5-inch inseam, getting your pilot's license before your driver's license, like Josh, or cultivating an unhealthy obsession with squash, the food and the sport. I'm looking at you, Will Langdon. It could mean obsessively perfecting your vegan macaroon recipe, like my dear friend Andrew Qua, or starting your own ultimate Frisbee team, like Kenny, Chris, and the other senior boys. Trust me, it would take far too long to list off all our eccentricities. In the same light, Trinity has taught me to value these unique qualities in people and to recognize that they make us better as a whole. An example that depicts this perfectly is last year's rope pull. We defeated the seniors with our strength, with an ingenious physics-based strategy, and the absence of half of the senior class. What we lacked in pure force, we made up for with our creativity and in spirit. Needless to say, there will be hiccups along the way. We didn't make it this far without ever being challenged, mentally, persevering through countless hours of studying, physically, remember the pacer test, and emotionally, keeping our cool when juniors cut in front of us while leaving assembly. But through it all, the Trinity family has always been there and will always be here for us in times of need, except for when they left Alan on the bus. But we really couldn't have achieved any of it without the help of our tireless teachers and the endless encouragement from our families and friends. I have far too many thank yous to fit into 3 minutes, but I couldn't leave this stage without mentioning a few. Thank you to my mom and dad for your endless support and for always being there for me with a daily cup of coffee and some wise words when I needed them. Thank you, Ben, for being the most amazing brother and for agreeing to wait at least a few days before turning my room into a man cave. Lastly, thank you, SparkNotes, for helping a girl out when she forgot about her assigned English reading. To humor my dad, I figured I would end with a Lord of the Rings quote. It's not the one that he wanted me to use, but it'll do, especially as we face the many decisions that lie ahead. All we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given us. Thank you.
Andrew Joseph Qua is a National Merit Finalist, member of the National Honor and Spanish Honor Societies. He was editor-in-chief of The Voice, won 2 Florida Scholastic Press Association All-Florida Awards, and was co-captain of the Trinity Prep varsity swimming team. Please help me welcome our co-valedictorian, Andrew Joseph Kwa.
It's the one in Calabria. Hi. Welcome, class of 2019, to your graduation ceremony. This time, with 150% more valedictorians for approximately the same price of entry as last year. So, at the very least, know that in terms of sheer consumer metrics, you are getting objectively more bang for your buck than last year's class did. You are getting the graduation equivalent of a Costco deal on a bulk purchase of veggie straws. And who doesn't love a good bargain? As the youngest of 3 children, I'd like to consider myself somewhat of an expert on graduation ceremonies, what with having to attend several for each of my siblings. Just 2 weeks ago, actually, I went to Chicago to attend my brother's medical school graduation ceremony, which, full disclosure, was a bit of a trying experience, given that I can really only maintain joy for 30 minutes at a time, and that I don't do anything in my life for 3 hours at a time. So, for all of my fellow younger siblings in the audience, and just fidgety people in general, I'll try to keep this short and sweet. What I've gathered from my many years of attending graduation ceremonies is that they are all largely similar, regardless of the speakers. All graduation ceremonies primarily seek to achieve 2 goals. First, to reminisce on the past and preach about lessons learned. Second, to neatly tie up an era of high school and adolescence and look towards the future. Unfortunately for you all, you will find that I am largely inept in terms of pushing this graduation ceremony towards achieving these 2 goals. Let's address the first goal, of preaching about how we've all learned a neat and tidy lesson that you can find in a Hallmark card. I don't feel like it's fair to present a singular, unified lesson learned from the experiences of the past. Take, for instance, the team building exercises at Camp Krakatoa? Camp Collagen? Camp Colonoscopy? Whatever it was called. The one with the worryingly yellow-tinted water. For me, those team building exercises just raised a lot of questions. Why am I on this log? Why am I not allowed to speak? Why is the instructor only asking men to hold down the wooden planks? But for others, those team building exercises taught cooperation skills, strengthened friendships, and created lasting memories. It would be disingenuous to say that we've all learned the same lessons throughout these years at Trinity. But what I will say is that our memories of our reactions to those experiences in the moment, those are arguably the most important takeaways from our time here, more so than any lesson learned in the classroom. You can always relearn trigonometric functions, but you'll never be able to recreate the time you stayed up to make your first promposal poster, or the time that you saw Craig Mon take off one too many shirts in assembly. Or the time that you had to explain to your friends that yes, she really did just give me an index card to measure my inseam. Now, to return to the second goal of graduation ceremonies, that of concluding. I don't think I've ever understood just how hard of a task that is until this year. Because I'm clingy, because I'm sentimental, because at 18 years of age, I shouldn't be having to say a permanent goodbye to anything except my acne. I feel like a stubborn kid at the end of a playdate saying, I don't want to go. Graduations always seem to carry this theme of looking forward towards the future and starting a new chapter in your life. But for me, life doesn't work like that. You can't just turn your back on up to 7 years of experiences, memories, and learn lessons that you shared with your peers. You will always continue to carry those with you because they have already shaped you into who you are at this exact point in time. Every moment you spend being true to who you are, being the person shaped by the moment you spent with your friends cramming before a semester exam, or FaceTiming in the dead of night, or laughing at an IHOP after prom. is the moment you're still living in this era of adolescence. So, I'd argue that a graduation ceremony isn't about ending or moving on. It's more of a reminder that you've grown since you first come here, that hopefully you've changed for the better. Congratulations, class of 2019. Never turn your back on the experiences that have made you who you are.
Ryan John Pasick is a member of Cum Laude, National Spanish and National Honor Societies. He achieved premier distinction by the National Speech and Debate Association, reached a high ranking of 4th nationally in congressional debate, and served as captain of the congressional debate team. He is the founder of the Astra Center for International Analysis, and he volunteered at the Orlando Regional Medical Center. Please help me welcome our co-valedictorian, Ryan John Pasick.
Good morning, everyone. Coming to Trinity my freshman year, I felt a little like Alan on the bus. Left behind. I didn't know anyone, I couldn't take the classes I wanted, and there was the small problem of being partially homeschooled since 4th grade. Everything was a brave new world for me. Now, as we seniors are about to transition to the next part of our lives, I think we can all relate to this sentiment. But I know that with the skills Trinity has taught us, and enough ramen, we'll probably make it through. To be honest, although I've had over a month to write this speech, up until 5 days ago I was staring at a blank document. Procrastination kills, y'all. I had no idea what I was going to say, so I reached out to my friend Nick DeVito, who promptly said, "You want me to write a speech? Done." Now, most of you don't know Nick, but if you did, you'd know that would be a horrible idea. So I'm just going to stick with the Brave New World motif, because if I'm being honest, there's nothing profound or woke I can tell you that will better prepare you to commence in your lives. The best we can do is be ourselves. I know more than most that authenticity can be terrifying, that it often feels best to shield our true selves from the outside world. But we're facing an entirely new phase of our lives. We shouldn't abandon the one truth we can control. What I've come to learn is that life is full of unexpected turns, which you'll have to deal with as they come. Like finding out our Salutatorian ran an infamous Trinity meme page. Simply, we can never know what forks in the road life will present. We will undoubtedly hurt, fail, and disappoint others and ourselves. But these moments do not define us. What matters is our ability to stand back up and keep trekking through our lives. As we leave our homes and embark on this new journey, I'm confident each and every one of us will grow as human beings. But when we do inevitably stumble, we should always remember there's at least one person watching our backs, whether it's family, peers, or teachers. Before I yield my time, and this speech inextricably fades from your mind within 5 minutes, I would like to make a few remarks to those who have helped me through this 4-year journey. To my mom and dad, thank you for always supporting me and encouraging me to do my best. To my grandparents, thank you for flying down from Pennsylvania to be here with me today. To Mr. Rhodes, thank you for always taking the field of battle in what feels like our centuries-long pun war. To Mr. Garnett, Mufasa. To Mr. Stewart, I will always cherish our political rants, which often derailed practices and class. And to Mr. Johnston, thank you for making your office a second home to me. Although I could mention countless other people who have been integral in my life over the last 4 years, I do have a time limit. So to all of my teachers, peers, and family who have helped pull me up when I've been at my lowest throughout high school, thank you for being there. It's still hard for me to believe this day has come, the day where many of us probably won't see each other again or for many years. But to quote Roald Dahl's almost final words, you know, I'm not frightened. It's just that I will miss you all so much. Thank you.
Our commencement speaker, Joey Chitwood III, is Executive Vice President and Chief Operating Officer of International Speedway Corporation. In this role, he is responsible for the leadership, management, and oversight of operations of all International Speedway Corporation facilities. Mr. Chitwood joined ISC in 2009 as Vice President of Business Operations before assuming the role of President of ISC's flagship motorsports facility, the Daytona International Speedway. As President, he oversaw ISC's largest development project to date, the $400 million Daytona Rising Project, and transformed the Speedway into the world's first motorsports stadium. Prior to managing the Daytona Motor Speedway, he served as President and Chief Operating Officer of Indianapolis Motor Speedway, home of the famed Indianapolis 500. Mr. Chitwood has received several industry honors and professional accolades throughout his career, including the University of South Florida Distinguished Alumnus Award in 2014, the school from which he received his MBA. He was named Sports Business Journal 40 Under 40 in 2009 and Indianapolis Business Journal 40 Under 40 in 2007. Mr. Chitwood serves on a number of local and regional boards, including our own Trinity Prep Board of Trustees and the Motorsports Hall of Fame of America. Please join me in welcoming Joey Chitwood III.
What a fantastic job with the speeches so far. I'm disappointed that I'm going to be following them. I'm not sure I can live up to that. I do apologize. I had to take off the hat with the tassel. I don't know how they were able to give their speech with that tassel waving in their face, so congratulations to all. What an honor it is to be here. What a fantastic morning to be with you all. So in racing, we go fast. So sit back, buckle up. I've got about 2 hours worth of material. We're going to order in lunch. I've been part of the Trinity Prep family for 7 years. We've got a lot to talk about. All seriousness, I've been given 6 to 9 minutes to impart some type of wisdom on this quality group of graduates of Trinity Prep High School. I'm not sure that's possible. For those that might be disappointed with my approach or what I deliver today, there is one person to blame, and that is Mr. Ralph Mazza. Ralph, where are you? This all happened about 5 or 6 years ago. I was offered the opportunity to give a speech in Mr. Mazza's sports media class. Someone seemed to like it. I was then asked to address the student body a couple years later. I think Paul Dietrich then asked me to be on the board of trustees, and so here I am now to give this commencement speech. I have you all fooled. I'll try and fool you for 7 more minutes, so go with me on this. Obviously, being in racing, you're going to hear a lot of things about racing and cars, and I'm actually going to dabble into the stunt world, of which I really earned my pedigree before getting into motorsports management. So I thought I really needed to prepare well today, to give a meaningful speech, to do something in this short time to make them remember how great the opportunities are in front of them. So I thought, how should I do that? You know what I'll do? I'll prepare just like a Trinity Prep student would. So I was asked to give the speech months ago. I waited till this morning. About 6 a.m., I asked my wife, where's the laptop? I need to Google the best jokes for commencement speeches. As you can tell so far, I did not find any. Well, I did find some really good jokes, but candidly, they're not appropriate for this gathering. For you graduates, come see me after college. I've got a couple good ones for you. I think about the opportunities here and the success that these young people will achieve, and it will be phenomenal. I have no doubt. Success, when you boil it down to its simplest term, is the achievement of a goal. But more importantly, for all of you graduates, it's the achievement of your goal. What do you want to be successful? Please don't let anyone define success for you. That will happen a lot. People will try and compartmentalize you, place you in a place of how they look at you. Don't let that happen. Define your own success. Make things happen for you. Again, no one defines success. Well, hold on, I apologize. I do want to define success for you, actually. Success is not moving back home after college, okay? Right, parents? Once you graduate, you're on your way. Other than that, please define your own success. I've heard this mentioned a couple times already, which is your dreams. What are your dreams? What do you want to do? What do you want to be? A dream can fuel that passion, that imagination, the ability then to overcome the challenges, the people that tell you you can't do that. So with your dream, it all starts with writing it down. You've got to put a date next to it. It's got to become a goal. You got to take that goal and break it down into steps, one at a time, make it your plan. You got to add some action to that plan, and it can become reality. That sounds easy, as putting it on a piece of paper, but you won't get there if you don't start that first. Start that first step. What is your dream? Put it on a piece of paper and commit to making that happen. Never forget that the best way to predict your future is to create it. You are responsible for your success. You're responsible for the things that you do. Don't let anyone ever tell you you're not. For those of you who enjoy TV shows, I'm always a big fan of The Office, and I found this quote from the Nard dog, Andy Bernard from The Office. I thought it was very appropriate today. I wish there were a way to know you're in the good old days before you actually left them. Absolutely. Live in the moment. Don't live to post about it. Try things. Like things. Dislike things. Whatever you do, just do it. Learn that way. Don't be that person who said, well, I could have. Oh, I should have. I could have done that. Be the leader. Be the instigator. Just be. Get a nickname. Speaking of nicknames, I asked my son, give me some nicknames of some of the students out there. I was kind of impressed with some of the things I heard, but print off? Snack? Can we talk afterwards? I need to find out what that's all about. Please don't live your life that you're along for the ride. Sit in the front seat. If you're not driving, you better be shotgun. If you're in the back, you're luggage. You're just going from one spot to the other. Be a leader. Be in the front seat. And you know what? Think about your life as a car. Again, I told you I'm going to overwhelm you with car stuff, so buckle up. So think of yourself as a car. You only get so many days on this planet, and at some point you're going to have to turn yourself back in. You know what? Take that car for a spin. Put a couple dents on it. How about some scratches? Roll the windows down. Play some music. Upgrade it. Get some different tires. Whatever you do, get everything you can out of it. If you roll that sucker into the garage at the end of your time, and it's a pretty looking car with a full tank of gas, then you aren't living your life the right way. I'd love for that car to show up, smoke steaming out of it, you get it into that garage with one drop of gas left, and it breaks down right there. All four tires come off, and there's nothing left. That means you got every ounce out of it. That's how you should live your life. Drive that car, mess it up, have some fun with it. There are going to be moments when you're going to fall down, okay? That is part of life. And the world really doesn't care. You will have to deal with that. Just make sure that you get up one more time than you fall down. Speaking of falling down, I want to share with the group, and I have another example of this. I grew up in a family of automobile stuntmen. For 20 years, I was a performer in my grandfather's stunt show. And one of the stunts I learned was something called the aerial wing walk. And when I was 14 years old in a fair in Harrington, Delaware, I learned how to stand on the side of a car while my dad drove it on two wheels. How do you do that? I'm not sure I can even remember back then. I know that we put the car up on blocks, on two wheels on its side. And I would practice climbing in and out of the car 5 times, 10 times, 20 times. There was a TV station there filming B-roll, wanting to get a shot of that. So as I'm standing on the side of the car with my helmet on, balancing like I'm riding a surfboard, my grandfather, alive at the time, is rocking the car back and forth. In and out, rocking it back and forth. As I stand up there one more time, he pushes the car back over on all 4 wheels. I get thrown off the car, I roll into the dirt, and I get up to address him, and we always called him the chief. He was in charge. Chief, why'd you do that? You gotta learn that too. So what did I learn that day? Absolutely nothing. I was 14 years old, okay? I was embarrassed. I didn't like that he did that with the TV there. 10 years later, a couple therapy sessions, I understood that it's okay to fail, but learn to not like it and be better the next time. Hard work and honest mistakes will get you through this life. That's really important. So, whether you fear it or not, you will deal with disappointment, you will deal with challenge, you will deal with things that life throws your way that aren't fair, okay? But through it all, your character, your resolve, sometimes your being will be tested. It's going to make you better, it'll make you stronger, it'll make you resolute, but know that's life. But at the end of the day, that will make you the person you're supposed to be. You'll go through the shock, anger, and denial of very challenging situations. And once you get through those emotions, saddle up and get going again. That's what life's all about. So one more stunt before I get close to the end of the speech, and that was something called the human battering ram. So at that same fair in Harrington, Delaware, I learned how you laid on the hood of a car, and you were driven through a flaming board wall, and you would burst through the boards with your helmet. You know, if I did that with my son today, I'd be arrested for child endangerment. But back when I was 14, which was only about 10 years ago, all right, maybe 20. No, actually, I think it was 30 years ago. Anyways, so why do I tell you about the human battering ram? Actually, I would tell this esteemed audience the same thing. Have you ever dealt with people that say, you know, this works okay? Why should I change? I don't really want to stick my neck out. We always do it this way. Now, that sounds too tough. Every day, we deal with the paradigms of complacency and inaction. People seek the easy way, the comfortable way. I don't want to stick my neck out. You need to be that person that will use your head and go through that flaming board wall and break through that inaction and complacency. I can't think of anything that has prepared me as well for a career in motorsports as the human battering ram. I run my head through that wall, if not every week, every day. It was easier when I had a helmet on. It's no fun now with no helmet on. But do a favor for me. If anything you remember from this speech, be a human battering ram. Don't let inaction, complacency, apathy get in the way of the great things that you will accomplish. I'm close to the end. I'm going to try and stay. 9 minutes wasn't doable, but I'm close. To the faculty, staff, coaches, can't thank you enough for the impression you made on our children, these graduates, and how they become just fantastic people heading off to their next opportunity. To my fellow trustees, what a pleasure it has been to serve with you. Thank you for allowing me to be a human battering ram. I know the first couple weeks you didn't enjoy it, but I only know one speed, and that's to go fast. Can you imagine what my wife has had to put up for 25 years of this, okay? Parents, they think they did it. We did it. We got them through high school. Here we are. Yes. To the 2019 graduates of Trinity Preparatory School, I end with a couple of things. So proud, so excited. What I wouldn't give to be in your shoes, to have a blank canvas, to create that future, create that path, do whatever we needed to do to be successful, but come up with your plan. I'm a big fan of Mario Andretti. He's a very famous race car driver, the only man to ever win the Indy 500, the Daytona 500, and an F1 World Championship. He has a quote that I use, and for some of you that heard it before, you're going to hear it again. If things seem like they're under control, you're just not going fast enough. Absolutely right. We live in a world in which you've got to go fast. So this is it. This is the big finale. I'm going to wave the checkered flag. You've heard me speak enough. Be bold. Be relentless. Be compassionate. Be kind. Be authentic. Be who you are. And be a human battering ram. Never slow down. Never settle for second place. Godspeed, graduates.
down and troubled, and you need a helping hand, and nothing, oh, nothing is going right. Close your eyes and think of me, and soon I will be there to brighten up even your darkest night. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you got to do is call, and I'll be there. Yes, I will. You've got a friend. If the sky above you should turn dark and full of clouds, and that old north wind should begin to blow, keep your head together and call my name out loud. Soon I'll be knocking upon your door. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you got to do is call, and I'll be there. Yes, I will. You've got a friend, that you've got a friend. When people can be so cold, they'll hurt you, yes, and desert you. Well, they'll take your soul if you let them, but don't you let them. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running, running, yeah, yeah, to see you again. Ah, darling, winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you got to do is call, and I'll be there. Yes, I will. You've got a friend.
Thank you, Hallie and Olivia, for that wonderful performance. And now I'd like to begin the process of awarding our seniors their diplomas. Row 1, please stand. Angela Arias Alvarez. Annika Joy Anderson. Akua Adede Apasampong. Charlie Aronson. Madison May Autry. Caroline Hayden Avery. John Arthur Baldwin, Jr. Trent Vaughn Bangle. Carlin Robert Bausch Sanchez. Laura Ann Borth Dryden. Sydney Fortner Bounds. Erin June Brisky. Jacob Darren Brodsky. Row 1, please be seated. Row 2, stand. James Baker Bryan. Madeline Elizabeth Canal. Livia Kristen Carr. Camille Suzanne Castillo. Matthew Ryan Castro. Joel McFadden Chitwood. Philip Glenville Clark. Keenan Kolak. John Manuel Calazo Torres. Daniel Gonzalez Cantaldi. Prescott Gordon de Vittorio Lobo. Olivia Joy Demetriadis. Jonathan Anthony Diagonali. Row 2, please be seated. Row 3, stand. Joshua Daniel Dietrich. Rylan Malone Deming. William Dunn Driscoll. Clayton Andrew Drummond. Olivia Nicole Edwards. Elizabeth Silva Yates Elliskew. Dedham Macy Erbelin. Michael Evans. Susanna Shepard Evans. Amanda Yim Feenstra. Spencer Stewart Fetter. Danielle Field. Elijah Benjamin Finkelstein. Tyler James Freeman. Row 3, please be seated. Row 4, stand. Jacob Neville French. Madison Elizabeth Gamichia. Ashley Joanne Garcia. Isabella Idana Garganisi. Joshua McGregor Gerstein. Julia Grace Gibbons. Lorelei May Gifford. Sitara Clara Gushvar. Elizabeth Rose Gordon. Kaylee Eileen Griffin. Alexandra Jade Grossman. Ava Grace Hickman. Kenneth Michael Hill. Samara Christine Hill. Row 4, please sit. Row 5, stand. Zachary Scott Holcomb. Michael William Hull. Hallie Nicole Hunt. Matthew Scott Johnson. Ferris Kabalui. Zev Neil Carvey. Madison Sykes Kaminsky. Aditi Kata. Ivan Korstensky. Selena Patricia Kuhlman. Nicholas Wesley Kuntzis. Valerie Correa. Andrew Joseph Qua. Brett Asher Lamoriello. Row 5, please sit. Row 1, stand. William Mason McLaughlin Langdon. Christian James Lee. Liam Denny Loftus. Susanna Kathleen Lowndes. Bella Luann Lundy. Connor James McInnes. William Joseph McGargy. Ivy Kate Mayer. Dominic Christian Martinez. Leah Josephine Maurer. Harrison Stephen McNeil. Andrew Russell Miller. Hannah Grace Miller. Row 1, please sit. Row 2, stand. Olivia Grace Miller. Samantha Miller. Cameron Alexander Minor. Tyler Gregory Musselwhite. Sahithia Kirthi Nagulapali. Campbell Ann Nelson. Carter John Nelson. Chase Staley Nelson. Spencer Maxwell Newman. Sophia Rose Alore. Victoria Callie Padron. Joseph Paoli. Margaret Lauren Parent. Row 2, please sit. Row 3, stand. Alan Chisung Park. Grace Harper Parker. Gianna Maria Patriz. Ishan Dylan Pereira. Sarah Julia Prasad. Arlen Tumay Plotz. Gabrielle Palad. Ryan John Pasick. Rachel Macy Reese. Mark Andrew Roberts. Patrick Raul Rodriguez. Logan Emily Yahong Rogers Pauser. Isa Zubair Saeed. Row 3, please sit. Row 4, stand. Diego Andres Santiago. Jacob Isaac Senderowitz. Casey Jewel Smith. Jackson William Soaps. Alexander Nicholas Spallone. Tej Jeffrey Stead. Saskia Matilde Steenstra. Sydney Matilde Steenstra. Caroline Abigail Swain. Cameron Alexis Talbert. Ashlyn Elaine Thomas. Ethan Michael Thomas. Pranav Sai Upalapati. Paul Christian Vandendriesch. Row 4, please sit. Row 5, stand. Anna Alexandra Voiku. Elisa Vouillet. Jackie Wong. Jonathan James Ward. Robert Graham Watts. Adam James Weir. Christopher Frederick Wilhelm. Valentina Willard. Michael Paul Williams, Jr. Conrad Wheeler Wilson. Robert Hunter Witten. Victoria Nicole Woolworth. Kiera Renee Wirtz. Zujie Yang. Row 5, please be seated. Seniors, please move your tassels from the right to the left. And I'd like to present to you the Trinity Prep School Class of 2019.
Well, here we are. It's time to say goodbye to 135 members of the class of 2019. You've completed our graduation requirements, and each of you has earned Trinity Prep's highest award, a diploma. As a class, you have achieved beyond expectation. You were awarded more than $12 million in performance-based scholarships. The National Merit Corporation recognized 22% of the class for its academic achievement. During your time at Trinity, this class has dedicated 28,661 community service hours to the Orlando Science Center, our Blue and Gold Society, Habitat for Humanity, Central Florida Zoo, Florida District Key Club, and so many more worthwhile organizations. Our a cappella choir was ranked in the top 8 at the International Championship of High School A cappella South Region Competition. Our theater department received a Community Engagement Award through the Dr. Phillips Applause Awards. The Trinity Voice won a gold designation from the Florida Scholastic Press Association and received 2 gold crowns from the Columbia Scholastic Press Association. The National Speech and Debate Association ranked Trinity Prep among the top 10% of programs nationwide, and we had 7 academic All-Americans. 101 of you earned at least 1 varsity letter this year. Trinity Prep athletic teams won 5 regional championships, appeared in the state Final Four, and the class produced 1 state champion, 5 academic All-Americans, and 8 All-American athletes. Simply stated, this class is incredible. You now join 4,158 others who have earned a Trinity Prep diploma. Along with your family and your classmates, we hope we have challenged and helped each of you to be the best version of yourself possible. In return, you've led us, you've made us smile, you've made us laugh, and time again, you have given us reason to cheer. You have given us so much, I would like to leave you with just a few gifts. Sometime after you leave for school, call your parents just to say hello. Wash your hands often. It's the easiest way to keep from getting sick. Be kind, work smart, and play fair. Admit your mistakes, and ask for forgiveness. Every day, have some fun and find a reason to smile. Last, do unto others as you would have others do unto you. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes my talk. Thank you for being here today. Wait. Yeah, I'm in my house. Yeah, perfect. Now please stand.
Let them stand, but don't start it.
Yes.
And Carly's coming to lead it. We have a singer coming to lead it.
Yeah, Caroline, she's in here. Please join Caroline Swain in singing Trinity's alma mater. The words are printed in your program.
Graduates, as you leave this place of learning to pursue your hopes and dreams, take with you the support of our Trinity family. As you leave this place of formation, having experienced compassion and kindness, meet others with gentleness, being true to your best selves. As you leave this place of grace, remember above all else the words of Presiding Bishop Michael Curry: love God, love your neighbor, and while you're at it, love yourself. And may you and all who celebrate with you today leave here inspired to make a positive impact in the lives of those you encounter. And may the blessing of God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit be upon you this day and remain with you always. Amen.